The observable universe is a gargantuan structure that stretches more than 93 billion light-years, filled to the brim with 200 billion galaxies, each filled with 2.21 sextillion stars, each with an average of at least one planet orbiting it. And of course, the observable universe is likely only a small fraction of the entire universe. When putting these statistics together, it is difficult, if not impossible, to imagine that we are the only organized civilization out there. Life should be teeming everywhere. However, no matter where we turn our telescopes to, we are met with a foreboding emptiness. The realization that there is a supposed absence of intelligent life in the universe is known as the Fermi paradox, devised in 1950 by the physicist Enrico Fermi. More than 7 decades later, we remain stubbornly without a solution to the pressing problem. So, are aliens a fundamental aspect of life, or just another convincing science fiction story? The story of life. Life on Earth began anywhere from 3.7 to 4.3 billion light-years ago, in a pool of mineral-rich water, possibly even in what is now the Pacific Ocean. The origins of life remain a mystery, as there are still large questions surrounding how boring, dead chemistry can organize itself into the dynamic biological process required to sustain life. A famous experiment that attempted to theorize how life originated was the Miller-Urey experiment. Scientists theorized that life existed as basic unicellular prokaryotic cells for the majority of Earth's history, until the Cambrian explosion began around 518 million years ago, which marked the beginning of complex life forms on the planet. We have gone over the evolution of life on Earth in more detail in our Recalibrating the Human Genome special video. After the introduction of multicellular organisms, life continued to evolve through Darwin's theory of natural selection. Approximately 300,000 years ago, the first anatomically modern human appeared on the planet. Within the time span of 300,000 years, humanity has gone from being nomadic hunter-gatherers to domineering species of planet Earth. From the barren deserts to the Arctic tundra to the deepest oceans, no part of the planet has not been touched by the influence of humanity. Relatively speaking, compared to the billions of years that it took the evolution of life to bring about multicellular organisms, the rapid industrialization and development of humanity has occurred extremely quickly. And as humanity exhausts the resources of our planet, we are naturally starting to look upwards and outwards at planets beyond our own. The development and deployment of space probes and eventually manned missions to other worlds will open up the next frontier of our species' development, the entire solar system. But could this fascinating story be a unique one that only occurred once in the universe? Life on other worlds. Simply put, life can exist on other planets. Astronomers estimate that there are thousands of potentially habitable worlds out there that meet the suitable conditions life needs. But what are these conditions? Life on Earth appears to require several indispensable ingredients: water, energy, nutrients, and other elements such as carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and phosphorus. Organisms can only develop and eventually reproduce if they are supplied with adequate nutrients to do so. Aerobic respiration, one of the most crucial biological reactions, requires glucose and oxygen to release energy. Liquid water is a critical component in allowing life to exist, and it serves a multitude of purposes. For instance, it regulates organisms' body temperature, aids in transport of certain compounds, and stabilizes animal cells. Finally, light energy from the sun acts as a catalyst to biological reactions, such as photosynthesis, the basis of all food webs on Earth. Might the lack of intelligent life around us be caused by the lack of these necessary conditions? Around a quarter of exoplanets contain liquid water on or beneath their surfaces, and 16 of the 1,780 confirmed exoplanets exist within the habitable zones of their stars, where adequate starlight shines onto the planets. Thus, it seems that there must be another reason for the apparent emptiness of the cosmos. Astronomer Frank Drake devised the Drake equation, a measurement of the probability of finding life in the universe. Let's take a closer look at some of the more accepted theories. Scenario 1. We are alone, at least for now. The rare Earth hypothesis suggests that the Earth is unique in the cosmic gamble for life. Some astronomers believe that life can only exist on terrestrial planets that meet all of the requirements to form life, which are currently not fully mapped out. Scientists do not know what steps life needs to pass before it is able to develop into complex planetary civilizations, but Earth may have been an unusual case. This is also called the optimistic view of the Great Filter. Meanwhile, the early bird hypothesis suggests that Earth is early. Life may have simply developed exponentially quickly on Earth than on other planets, perhaps due to the stability of the sun, or a specific catalyst that only affected this planet. However, sooner or later, alien civilizations will develop everywhere, marking the start of a space race. Scenario 2. They are there, or even here. However, it could be that aliens do indeed exist and are either waiting to or already on their way to spread across the universe. Because of the sheer size of the universe, it takes time for light to transmit information from one point to another. In addition to this, we have only recently started looking for others out there. It could be that in some far-flung corner of the universe, complex life is thriving. Conversely, aliens may be living right under our noses without anyone noticing. While carbon is an element that supports life, there is no guarantee that it is the only one, and life based on other elements may not be life as we know it. Alien life could be so drastically different from what scientists anticipate that we may mistake these extraterrestrial beings as inanimate, or fellow human beings. Although it may sound far-fetched, the reason why extraterrestrial life appears to be non-existent may be because they are watching over us. An unfathomably complex civilization may be breeding humanity in a fishbowl, carefully observing our development from afar. Some astrobiologists and philosophers go so far as to propose that a complex civilization may have created a simulated reality for humanity to inhabit, and we are mere holograms. However, there are proposals that are far more bone-chilling. The pessimistic view of the Great Filter suggests that a humongous obstacle that life needs to handle is looming ahead of us, and that it has destroyed all complex civilizations that attempted to rise in the past. Finally, there lies the dark forest solution. If all alien civilizations view each other as an existential threat, a constant destruction of rival species could have rendered the universe nearly completely devoid of complex life. Remaining species would be silently stalking through the ominous jungle of the universe in fear of others. Conclusion. Ultimately, all of the theories that we have listed down are merely based on imagination and incomplete science, yet we do need to be ready for whatever may arise in the future.